I need you to stop eating, turn round. I need you to sit properly with your legs crossed and your backs up straight. Unless you're 2 and under, you should be able to do that. If you're 2 years old and under, that's not a problem. You can run around. Right, move up a bit, turn round, and come and sit near me. Come on. Thank you. If they're 2 and under, please leave them alone, because that's what the place is for. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I didn't hear a reply. I only heard it from Sajida auntie. I'll start again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. Can I have a salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now we've been talking about the spiritual bank, and we said that the bank was, if you sit down and not look at yourself, that'll be good too. Just turn around and look at me. So we said the spiritual bank was where you did matam. Do you remember? In your heart. Right here, right there, okay? So that was your spiritual heart was. And I told you that to open this bank account, or to open this spiritual heart account, you needed to know the kalima. What was it? La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah Aliyun Waliullah. We also talked about what we would bank in this spiritual heart. And you remember the 5 names we talked about? Ya Muhammad, Ya Ali, Fatima, Ya Hassan, Ya Hussein. Well done. And what we've been talking about in the last few days has been the things that we have to be putting into our spiritual bank every day. And one of the things we talked about was salah. How many salahs in a day did you tell me? 1 salah, so many salawat. How many? 5. Can you tell them to me? Fajr, Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. Again, I need to hear them because I can't hear them. Fajr, Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. Can we put our books away, please? They're not supposed to be looked at right now. Close them and put them away. Listen to me carefully. So we were going to pray. How many rakats altogether in Fajr, Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha? How many? 5 prayers. How many rakats? So you had 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4. How many did it come to? Do you remember? Well done. 17. And we were going to put those into our spiritual bank. And then the next day we talked about Quran. How many of you know how many surah, how many chapters in the Quran? Because you all knew them. Yes. Do you want to try? It doesn't matter, just try. How many all together? 100 and what? 100 and... Put your hands down. 100 and? Well done. 114. So, I know you don't know all 114, but at least you know there are 114 chapters. We also talked about, what was AK? Do you remember I told you to recite AK all the time? Yes. Well done. Ayatul Kursi. And what were the 4 kuls that you would recite to be kept safe? What were they called? Kul ya ayyuhal kafirun. Kul huwallahu ahad. Kul a'udhu birabbil falak. Well done. And kul a'udhu birabbil. My goodness, you're so clever. Okay, so the 4 kuls and AK. Yesterday, we talked about dua. What is dua? Is dua something that you order, like you order on Amazon or eBay or whatever? Was it something you order, or was it talking to Allah? And how were you supposed to do dua? Do you remember, or have you forgotten? Shall we try and remember again? What was the first thing you would do when you did dua? Put your thing down, put your card down. We'll talk about it later. What was the first thing we did? What was the first thing we did when we started dua? Okay, you put your hands up. Well done. What was the second thing? What would you say? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So the first thing you would say is salawat. The second thing we said was you would ask for forgiveness. You would say sorry. And how do you say that? How do you say that? How do you say sorry for something that you've done that's naughty? You could go to mom and dad and say sorry, or your teachers or your friends, but how do you say it to Allah? Do you want to try? Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Can I hear all of you say that? Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Then I told you that you have to sit and tell Allah about your day. What sort of day did you have today? Were you good? Were you naughty? Did you have a good day at school? Did you learn? Did you listen to Mama? Did you listen to Baba? What did you do? All that you have to tell him. And then you ask for what you want. And when you finish asking him for what you want, and somebody here yesterday told me they would ask that God looks after their mom and dad. What else did you tell me? What else did you say? Somebody said they wanted the 12th Imam to come quickly, and then somebody said they wanted to be good. Do you not remember? How were we supposed to ask Allah to look after our mom and dad? What was that dua in the Quran? It was either too hot yesterday or you've forgotten. And you're such clever kids. Read with me. Rabbir hamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Read with me, come on. Rabbir hamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Which literally means, will you please look after my mom and dad like they looked after me when I was a baby? And you finish it with a salawat. Can I hear a loud salawat? Allahumma, not like your moms and grandmas. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Well done. So today, there were 4 things that you have to put in your spiritual bank. Salah, Quran, dua. And the last thing is called istighfar. Can you say that for me? Istighfar. And istighfar literally means to say, I am sorry. Before you go to sleep, think of all the things you did in the day, and you say, I am sorry. So, I'm going to tell you a story, and I'd like you to listen to it. Who was Imam Ali? Do you know? Who was Imam Ali? Yes. He was what? He was a very brave warrior. Okay, well done. What else was he? He's the first Imam. Yes? So Imam Ali was sitting with all these people around him. And somebody came and said, Ya Ali, I really want to make more money in my business. This man came. So Imam said, read Astaghfirullah. Another man came. And he said, I want more children. And what did Imam Ali say? Say what? Astaghfirullah. Another man came and he said, everything I do, it doesn't seem to work out. I want it to work out. What did Imam Ali tell him? Say what? Astaghfirullah. So when those people went away, the people who were sitting around him said, Ya Ali, they all came with different things. One said children. What did the other one say? He wanted more money. And the third one said what? Everything he did wasn't working out. How come you told them the same thing, that they should say Astaghfirullah? So Imam Ali said, I need you to read the Quran and read Surah Nuh. Can you say that for me? Surah again, really loudly. Surah Nuh. And who is Nuh, by the way? In English, what is he called? What is Nuh called? Who built the ark? What was his name? What was his name? Yes. Noah, that's right. So there's a chapter called Nuh, and it's chapter number 71. Can you remember that? So he said, read that chapter and you will see that Allah says, if you do istighfar, if you say I'm sorry all the time for things that you've done that are wrong, but even if you say astaghfirullah, Allah will give you everything. Everything you want. So what are you going to say all the time? Astaghfirullah. Can I hear you say it 5 times? Come on. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. And you have to say it all the time, again and again and again. Now, many people, lots and lots of people, what do you think they're scared of? What do you think people are scared of? When they do something wrong, what are they scared of? Yes. You're scared of God. He is so kind. He's 70 times kinder than your mama. You get into trouble. That's right. Are you scared of your mom? No. So if you do something wrong, does mama get a bit angry? She does, doesn't she? Even grandmas are like that. I'm a grandma, so I know. Sometimes when my grandchildren do something naughty, I get a bit angry too. But Allah is 70 times kinder than a mama. But yes, you're right. You don't want to upset him. You just don't want to upset him. So it's really, really important to think. People are scared of that. So in the Quran, in surah number 8, which surah is it? Number? Again, number? And what surah is number 8? I need you to tell me. What surah is number 8? Let's start again. Number 1 is Fatiha. Number 2 is Baqarah. Number 3 is Ale Imran. Number 4 is Nisa. Number 5 is Ma'idah. You're stuck now. Number 6 is what? God, you're quiet. Number 6 is what? Yes. What is number 6? And well done, An'am. Number 7 is A'raf. A'raf means up. Have you heard of a drink called 7-Up? Have you heard of a drink called 7-Up? Yeah, 7 up. A'raf means up. So 7 is 7-Up. And what is surah number 8? That's the one I'm talking about. Yes. No, A'raf was number 7. Try again. It starts with A. The second letter is N. Come on, mummies. You got to know them. Sit down. Put your hand up. Sorry? No, Ankabut is 29. But good guess. You got the A and the N right. Well done. So, surah number 8 is Suratul Anfal. And ayah 33, 8:33 says that as long as you do istighfar, Allah will never get angry on you. 8:33. All you have to do is istighfar. How do you do istighfar? What do you say? Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. So what are the 4 things we're going to put in our spiritual bank? Salah, Quran, what else? Dua and istighfar. I need you to tell me these 4 things again. Salah, Quran, dua and istighfar. Now on Sunday is a very special day. What is that day called on Sunday? And I'm hoping you'll either come to the mosque or you'll sit at home and think about it. Yes. It's called Ashura. Ashura comes from 10. Do you know the Arabic numbers? Wahid, Ithnain, Thalatha, Arba, Khamsa, Sitta, Sab'a, Thamaniya, Tis'a, and Ashara. So Ashura means the 10th day, and it refers to the 10th day of Muharram. What happened on the day of Ashura? All these things we've been talking about for the last 5 days when you've been here, they all happened on the day of Ashura. So what happened on the day of Ashura? Do you know? Why is it so important? What do we think about? Who do we think about? Yes. Imam Hussein. And we think about him because he taught us that you cannot listen to any bullies at all. You have to be free. You have to be only attached to Allah. So he taught you and me that whatever bullies do, don't listen to them. Anybody who's mean, you will not be mean. Now, one of the things we do on Ashura, in the morning we do Amale Ashura. Have you heard of that? Have you heard of Ziyarat Ashura? Who's heard of Ziyarat Ashura? Put your hands up. Okay. So what is a ziyarah? What does ziyarah mean? Do you know what ziyarah means? Can anybody tell me what ziyarah means? Yes. A what? I can't hear. No? Yes. Well done. But ziyarah actually means to visit someone. It comes from the word zawr, which means when you visit someone, you only focus on them. Now, most people today, when they're talking to someone, they're playing on their phone. I'm sure your mamas don't do that. They're smiling at me. I'm sure your mamas don't do that. But when you go and see someone and we're talking to them, especially your children, you just have to focus on them. And that's what ziyarah means. Ziyarah means visiting somebody and only focusing on them. If you can't visit them, then you recite a ziyarah. It's exactly what you said. You say, Assalamu alayka, and you say their name. Now, what do you call Imam Hussein? You say, Assalamu alayka ya Hussein, or you say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Can you say that with me? Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. And again, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. So if you can't do anything on Sunday, if you can't come to the mosque, or even if you do come to the mosque and you're getting a bit bored, there are two things you will do. One is you will recite Suratul Ikhlas. Can you recite it with me? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. And then you recite Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. I need you to say it again and again. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Again. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Now it's not only on the day of Ashura. After every salah, after every namaz, you will recite Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. When you wake up in the morning, I know you say salams to your mama and baba. But before that, you will say Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Before you go to sleep, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. And more important, whenever you drink water, what you going to say? Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. I need you to look at me and say it loudly with me. What will you do before you drink water? And before that, before you eat and drink, what do you say? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And then Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. And you have to say it every time throughout the year. When I was little, my mama got me a glass. And on the glass, it said, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. So I never forget, because that was my special glass. Every time I drank water, I would say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and then Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. And I'd never waste water. I'd get told off. So if there was any water left, I'd either put it in the garden or I'd put it in a plant. But you'd never leave a glass half full. In fact, my grandma used to say, why don't you have half a glass, finish it, and then have another half? So you never wasted water. Now I'd like you to close your eyes, like really close your eyes tight. And I'm going to take you back to Karbala. So imagine that it's really, really hot. It was really hot. Not like it's here, it's even worse than that. And for 3 days, the children didn't have any water at all. Close your eyes and look down, please. Even if you don't feel sad, try and be sad. Imagine if you didn't get any water to cool off. Imagine how difficult it was for the children. And some of the children were really little. There was a 6-month-old baby who didn't get any water either. There were children who were 3, 4, 5. They were so little. And they kept on crying, Al-Atash, Al-Atash, Al-Atash. We are so thirsty. We need some water, please. Somebody give us some water. And on the other side, in the bullies and the mean people, they were just throwing water around. In fact, they were putting water on the hooves of the horses to cool their feet down. But they didn't want to give any water to the children. Now there was a little, tiny little baby who was 6 months old. His name was Ali Al-Askar. He didn't have any water. And his mama kept on looking at him because he couldn't even move. He was so thirsty. And his mommy used to say, please God, help him. And then suddenly, he had some strength. And he threw himself out of the cradle. And his mama started crying. His Baba came in and he said, what's the matter? He said, she said, I don't know what happened. He's got no strength, but he's actually jumped out of his cradle. So his Baba took him and said, maybe even the bullies have got hearts. Even they will feel bad when they see a baby who hasn't had any water. So he takes him to the army, and he says, you might not like me because I'm the adult you don't like, but you got to give some water to the baby. Some of them thought, yeah, that's true. So they started going to get water. And then they had a head. The head of all these people was called Ibn Ziyad. He was like the leader. He said, I can't have this. I can't have them giving water to the baby. And he told a person in the army, can you just make sure the baby doesn't cry anymore? Can you take that baby out? And that's what he did. Imam Hussein held on to his baby, took him back to his mama. His mama said, if I knew that they were going to fight a baby as well, I'd have dressed him up like a soldier. So I'd like you to close your eyes and ask Allah. Do dua, ask Allah to help all those children in the world today who don't have water. They don't have water, they don't have food, they don't have anything. They don't even have mommies and daddies to look after them. So pray for them. Pray for your mommies and daddies and thank God for them that they look after you. And pray for whatever you want. I told you how to pray. Salawat, astaghfirullah, tell him about your day, pray for what you want, and end with salawat. Can I have a really loud salawat, please? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajam. Let's recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم